Well, it's good to see all of you tonight. I couldn't miss the opportunity tonight to come up and talk a little bit about Carol Klem myself. I have known Carol for an awful long time. We actually, when I first joined the village board, we are the board that hired her to do the column in the paper. I remember Jack, Judge at the time, was extremely excited about having her on board. The biggest bone of contention was how much do we pay her, because we wanted to make sure we had enough to meet her talent. And I knew her since that time, 2005, and we have talked numerous times. We've had breakfast together. Carl and I sat down with her one time about how do we write a book, which we still have to write. And she was encouraging. She never had a discouraging word to say. In fact, she even gave us ideas and things to use. I can't imagine someone who's left more fingerprints on people throughout the village. So eventually, when I occupied that center chair those many years ago, I realized that here was a woman who had written about everyone. She'd written about people that I never even knew had anything to write about. But she found a way. She found a way to get those birthdays, to get those anniversaries. And I realized at the time, which was January 26, 2011, that nobody up to that time had really written about her. So I said to her, Carol, I'm going to write about you. And she said, I don't want you to write about me. So I said, well, I'm going to do it anyways. But she said she wouldn't help me. So I had to contact a dear friend of hers named Karen Siegelman. I don't know if any of you know Karen, but she was with Carol down at the Webster Post. And she gave me lots of great dirt on her. And so I was able to write a nice column. And if you felt with me for 1 minute, I'd like to read what I wrote back then for the week of January 26, 2011. And the title was Saluting the Village Crier. Our village is privileged to have so many bell towers. Though some have become silent over the years, they represent a time when quick news, a celebration or a death, for instance, was sent by the bell. People have always wanted to know the news. National, state, and local, no matter the era. They wanted to know the news so much that before the internet, television, or the radio, some communities employed a town crier. This person's job was to pass along the news of the day. Sometimes it was big news of wars or disasters, but often it was local news, the news shared between neighbors and neighborhoods. Our village still has a town crier, so I will call her our village crier. That person is Carol Klem, patiently collecting the news, honestly reporting it, seeking the favorite photo, taking the extra effort to know more. She illuminates the best of us and the best parts of us. She skillfully weaves her lines of prose to create the Village Focus column every other week. Carol Klem is the crier of all the wonderful people, places, and things our village has to offer. She is a collector of the joys and concerns of so many people. Yet looking at what she does, I realized how little she's been recognized. Did you know, for instance, that Carol Klem has been writing about our community for over 2 decades? She's wandered through many years of weddings, events, honors, and remembrances, memorializing them and transmitting them to everyone. A graduate of Nazareth Academy and Nazareth College, Carol moved to Webster with her parents and lived on Basket Road. Her original passion was teaching. She actually did teach for several years at Holy Trinity, and over the years has contributed her time and effort to the parish. She has been involved with the Webster Arboretum, the Webster Museum, and other community groups. Here's where the dirt starts. Rumor has it that Carol drove a convertible in her younger years and was spotted by a handsome young gentleman as she rode around Webster. Perhaps it was car repair at Klem's garage that led the two to meet, and thus Eugene and Carol Klem became an enduring couple. Together they have raised their family, which now includes grandchildren and great-grandchildren, in Webster, and Carol still likes driving a convertible. I've had the pleasure of knowing Carol for years and reading her wonderful work. It struck me that it was fitting for me to write a column about someone who writes so much about everyone else. It is fitting for her service and her contributions to our community that I salute her. There is, however, another reason that I'm writing this column now, at the time of January 26, 2011. As her dear friend Karen Siegelman told me, Carol always loves a party. So I extend more than just recognition to Carol. I hope you'll join me in wishing her a happy birthday on February 6th, which was just about a month ago. And I said, and Carol, may we have more years of laughing, crying, reminiscing, and reporting about our village and the great people and events that happen here. You are a radiant star in the firmament of our village. Now, I find it ironic that at the time, I titled that column Saluting the Village Crier, because as it turns out, there may be a lot of people crying now. So, anyways, thank you very much for letting me speak.